Up at the table, and Landon Sloan goes to the bench.
Central Michigan back to the matchup zone. More of a 2-3 now than the 1-2. Now they fall back into it.
Throughout this game, they've been switching every time down defensively. Porter looked to dump it down inside to Stevenson, but a kick is called. And checking in for the Chippewas, Antonio Weary replaces Robbie Harmon. Weary nearly stole it, but Meeks is able to grab it. And now Liggins backs it out with a shot clock at 6. And a nice job by Patterson to save it and to finish. That is a big-time play by Patrick Patterson.
Excellent body control, just a great individual effort, like you said, but gathered the ball and then kind of went under and under. Now, you sometimes hear of an up and under, but that time faked like he was going under the basket to one side, but pulled back to the strong side. He has great hands, great awareness of where he is on the court at all times.
And Carl Hess has a whistle away from the ball, and he is going to call a blocking foul against Jeremy Allen.
You see Patrick Patterson, not necessarily with the inside position, just continually going after it. Fakes to one side, pulls back to the right.
Porter playing the wing now on this Kentucky offensive attack, and a nice touch pass by Meeks, but Patterson can't get it to go. And there's Meeks in the passing lane, and Carl Hess immediately calls an intentional foul as Meeks took a hard hit, and his teammates run down to help him up. Saw Jody grab the back of his head.
Well, that was the one shoot the gap steal that Jody Meeks seems to get per game, if not one. And you know, the intentional foul anymore, it really doesn't seem like there's enough of a penalty when you go after someone like that, almost ride their back and take them down to the floor. Whether the player should have to come out of the game for a minute or two, whatever, but just going to the free throw line doesn't seem like that's quite enough of a penalty when you get attacked like that.
And unbelievably, the best free throw shooter on the Kentucky team comes up with a rare miss.
Probably feeling his head where he got hit there.
Maybe. Gets that second one to go. Meeks was 2 of 2 coming in, or on the night tonight coming in. He had hit 15 of his last 16 in his last 3 games. And Porter gets his second 3 of the night. "25 points, Kentucky's biggest lead after having trailed by 9 early in the first half. Bitzer in trouble, gets it to Weary, and now Allen is fouled by Liggins.
It's been a very physical game as both teams really getting after it defensively. You see a little bit of frustration sometimes here from the Central Michigan players, and the Cats responding a little bit on their defensive end of the floor.
And the Chippewas have had trouble inbounding all night. That time they get it to Weary. And Hardiman has to kick it back out. Weary can't get the 3 to go. And Liggins finds Meeks.
Excellent push by DeAndre Liggins, getting down the floor quickly, the way the Cats want to play, up and down.
And kind of an upperclassman kind of move for the freshman, Kyle, to be under control and find the shooter on the cross-court pass.
Yeah, he does an excellent job of keeping his head up. As soon as he gets the ball, he's always looking down the floor for a teammate to see if he can pass it on further.
Kentucky with a 9-0 start to start this second half of play as they continue to stretch it out against the Chippewas. UK Hoop fans, we've got UK women's basketball action coming your way on the Big Blue Sports Network and Fox Sports. On January the 11th, the Arkansas Lady Razorbacks come to Lexington for a game at Memorial Coliseum. Join Gary Gupton, Christy Thomas, and Carl Nathy for all the action. Check your local listings for the time and station in your area. A 9-0 run by the Wildcats to start this second half of play, and Jody Meeks creeping up on his 24-plus point per game average, as he's now got 15 to lead this Kentucky team as they have stretched it out against Central Michigan.
As poorly as Kentucky started the game, you'd like to see the first 3 or 4 minutes to start the second half have gotten their intensity, got their focus, and playing very well.
Weary works against Darius Miller, who comes up with a strip in his first action off the bench here in the second half. Miller, not a good look as he tried to lob it into Patterson. And that's one of the areas that he's still working on, Kyle. You just can't lob that ball in there at this level.
Especially from the angle where he was on the floor, almost like it was a fadeaway. When he threw it, he kind of backpedaled. You got to take it down towards the baseline, create a better angle, and then jam it in there hard.
Meeks on the curl. And that one went way down and popped out. Weary got it inside, and Hardiman draws the foul. I believe they say it'll go against Miller. I thought they might have got Stevenson, but it looked like Perry got an awful lot of ball.
Hardiman at the line for 2.
Kentucky with the big lead now. Offensively, you want to try to just continue to execute on the offense so you get ready for future games. It's not time to try to pad your own scoring average, get everybody in the team involved, execute, and defensively stay with that intensity, get stops, and lead to some fast break baskets on the other end.
There you see Josh Harrelson coming in and giving Patrick Patterson a break. Second time that he's been out of the lineup tonight after going 40 minutes against Florida Atlantic. As Hardiman hits.
Nice for Patrick to be able to get a little bit of a break. Saw last year he played just about every minute possible, and this year so far playing a lot of minutes as well, keeping fresh.
And a nice high-low look again. Stevenson out top, going underneath to Josh Harrelson for the 2. And the foul is called underneath as Weary whistled for the violation on the drive.
Yeah, Darius Miller was late, actually gave up the baseline in the drive, and then Harrelson was late coming over to seal that baseline and let him come on through and committed the foul. More substitutions quickly to the scorer's table for Kentucky.
And the Chippewas back to the free throw line as Antonio Weary gets the first. There you see Sloan and Porter checking in to replace Miller and DeAndre Liggins.
Central Michigan only shooting 58% as a team from the free throw line, but tonight shooting much better as they did last time out against Detroit.
The Chips now 7 of 8 from the line, up close to 90%. But they've got to get some stops to get back in this one. And Sloan had that pass batted away. And it is the 8th turnover of the night against Kentucky. They committed 6 in the first half. Check that, make that the 9th turnover. And had a little mix up with the officials there. Weary was called underneath for the travel. They signaled the basket good on the goaltend out front, but the travel supersedes the goaltend. I think we got that straightened out as the Cats continue to lead here at home. It's time now for tonight's Kentucky Utilities Power Play of the Game.
Good ball movement by the Wildcats, going to the high post. Perry Stevenson dropping it straight down to Josh Harrelson. Powers the layup in off the glass. The Kentucky Utility Power Play of the game.
And you know, Mace, I'm sure it's something that the Cats work on every day in practice. But it seems and I don't have stats to back this up, but I bet we could get them, that the big guys are better at passing it to the big guys than the little guys are passing it to the big guys. Would you agree with that? A lot of high-low action.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. They look for each other better, although the